Hi everyone, let me tell you a little about myself. Okay, first I want to let you know that I've always been creative. And as a little boy, I remember even writing books, imagining stuff that, I don't know how I did it all, but I loved just the English language. And I remember I wrote my first book that I gave my mom, and it's in her scrapbook or something. That's only 10 pages or something about a mouse and his day or something. I forget what I called it. And so I just wanted to let you know about that. And now skipping all the way to first grade, I shared and everyone shared, but I got really sick of it because I love to entertain and I want to always be different. So I decided, hey, I'll bring my favorite single, which was Michael Jackson. Smooth Criminal is my favorite song, and the kids loved it. I brought it, lip synced, and danced to it. It was really good. And when I was in second grade, the first grade then kind of picked up on what I started, and they decided to sing all the tracks to The Little Mermaid, which, yes, I like too. And so when I saw this, I realized I have to do something. They can't take what I started. So I got together with some friends and we decided to write a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle play. It was about 15 to 20 pages, and I was Splinter, and we went to first and second grade and performed it, and it was awesome. I thought myself. So I've always been creative. And yes, I was also the class clown, being laid back. People called me, my name's Al, and people called me Al Bundy, or Bundy, because we have the same kind of lifestyle, where it's just kick back and choke. And that's what I would do. And, okay, so I came from a single parent household, which had 3 kids, 2 sisters and me. And, I don't know to this day how my mom did it all, because we were living close to poverty level, so I give her a lot of credit for paying for all of us to go to private school. And it was only about a block away, so we always walked to school. Yeah, it kind of worried my mom, so we had to call her every day, say we were there or something. So So, wait, I already said what private schooling. So, okay, I actually hung out with troublemakers, which was the bad part. I'll get into that when I mention what I do now. And because, the troublemakers back then have kind of evolved into the scripts I write today. Okay, but, coming back to my story of my life, I was a Cub Scout like a lot of little boys. I joked one day there was a magician that came and, because I helped him out, he chose me to be kind of like his assistant. He gave me a chicken and a big toothbrush, and so when he wasn't looking, I'd shove the toothbrush down the chicken's throat, and I'd swing the chicken over my shoulder, stuff like that. Anything to make people laugh. I've always enjoyed making people laugh and making them smile. So, okay, then, I went from a Cub Scout to a Boy Scout, and that's actually when my life turned upside down, because, I joined a really active Boy Scout troop, probably because I'm athletic, and they'd always do, like, hiking trips, and so, like, I probably was with them for 1 or 2 months, and we did a 13-mile hike, and yeah, my legs thought, I thought it was nothing, because, you know, my legs probably could have done another 13 miles, but unfortunately it rained, so we had to set up camp, and we had to leave actually instead of camping. And so when I came back, I went through a week of getting headaches daily after lunch, and it was kind of odd because I would get sick after lunch. And I was thinking, oh, maybe it's the popsicle I'm buying, I don't know. So, we would go to the doctor, even them, or pediatrician back then, because remember, I was a kid, and the pediatrician was kind of baffled too, and said, you know, maybe he's allergic to something he's eating, like peanut butter or something. But that wasn't the case. See, it lasted, the sickness lasted for only about an hour, and I would get sent home, and then I would be fine when I was playing Legos or something as a kid. And so after that week, kind of ironically, I experienced a really bad headache when I was at a Boy Scout meeting. So there's a bunch of people going, he got hit by the ball. But, you know, that is BS. I never got hit with the ball. So no one, not even the doctors, want to diagnose what the hell happened. So, I live a life of just, figuring it out myself. And, what happened was, I totally blame it on, stressing out my brain when I was doing the 13-mile hike. And, see, I had like a brain hemorrhage. It's called AVM, arterial venal malformation. And, so this vein was like a blood clot or something. Couldn't get from my heart or something to my brain to like equally distribute or whatever. And so it just stressed out my veins till like they couldn't take it anymore and it burst. And so I remember my mom came when I was at Boy Scout meeting. She would just walked over to get me because we're not that far from where the Boy Scout troop met. And so then I just lost my voice, and I remember looking at her and just lipping. So it was scary for me and probably scary for her. And then I must have blanked out then. And I got filled in what happened, where I got rushed to like an emergency room in the area, and they really couldn't do anything. So after like trying to help her or whatever, they called in an ambulance to take me to Children's Hospital. Now it's called Rady Children's Hospital. And that was my home for 9 months, and 3 months was in the coma, 6 months of intensive therapy. And because I'm athletic, I used that therapy to my advantage. I had the greatest grandma that anyone could have then. I know it kind of ticked off the therapist with her around because she was pretty much a drill sergeant, but I needed that to get through what I had and to get where I am today. So, so yeah, I mentioned my athletic background. I played 3 years of track and field and 2 years of JV football, and I had the same coach, and he taught me basically to never give up. So I give him a lot of credit too, because at the end of every race, he would say, "All out, Alan, all out." And that's like, you gotta give it your best at the end. And that's how I live today. I go to therapy, give it my best, never give up. And, so, when I got out of the hospital, I went through a thing I call the 10 dark years, which is basically when reality stared at me in the face. Where I go to middle school and I go to like a place where all the kids judge you and how you look, how you act everything. And so I had a messed up voice. I still do, but now I'm not ashamed of it. But back then I tried my best not to talk. I still have an eating problem. Back then it was even worse because I used to be entirely G-tube fed, and one day it broke. So the doctor said either we can put a new one in for you or you can take it in all orally, and I wanted to be as normal as it could be, so I just said I'm gonna eat it all orally. And we had problems managing my weight, but here I am. I'm 145 pounds, 150, whatever, and so I wrote my first story, kind of like a script, in middle school. And I had just seen Batman Forever, and I'm like, you know, I could write something better than this. And I kind of challenged myself. That's one thing I always love, a challenge. I'll always accept some challenge. And so I wrote something and I went, you know, what character hasn't been used that they haven't killed off already? And I'm like, you know, why don't they use the Scarecrow? So that's what I did. And the Scarecrow freed the Joker, and the Joker brought back to life, oh wait, I'm telling you wrong. Okay, the Scarecrow freed the Riddler. The Riddler brought back to life the Joker and the Catwoman. And, then somehow, I think it's Dr. Chase turns into a cargo jack, you know, Joker's like girlfriend or something. And it was really good, I thought, and I was amazed. But for years I didn't do anything with it until they came out with a mini-series of Birds of Prey, because like my script, there was like Batman's daughter, and I went, this is like brilliant, why don't I write a script called Birds of Prey? And I did, but when I was done I realized I couldn't stop there, so I needed a trilogy, and I wrote the most amazing third story, and it had to do with like terrorism and New York and all that stuff, and like working together and throughout all your differences. So I thought it was a really good story. And then what else do I want to tell you here? Okay, I joined the newspaper staff, and when I joined the newspaper staff, I like completely lost all my creative writing skills. I don't know why exactly. Probably because of all the factual writing. And, okay, wait a minute, I lost it. And I rediscovered my talent, through like a creative writing class or something. I decided I can't lose this again, so I started writing right after. And it turned into 2 feature scripts. And, they dealt with my own characters. And, yeah, I write, like, comic stories. I wrote a character called Fearsome Flyer who basically is me as a superhuman. And by day, yeah, it's a dude in a wheelchair like me. But by night, he's like your average character. And he's pretty cool, I think. I don't know how I came up with him. And, so I met this guy that read my stuff. He was from, Australia, but he read it online. And he went, you know, your stuff is so inspiring. This guy has chronic pain, so he deals with pain every day, and he deals with it through like writing and performing songs. And for me, as a gift, he wrote like a theme song for Fearsome Flyer. So if you have any time, go to comicinvasion.org and you can hear the Fearsome Flyer song. That's my website. And so then he also got me to realize, he said in the quote, he said, you know, if you could do something with your stories, you can affect the world. Godspeed. So I thought of it, and I'm like, you know, he's right. I could affect the world. So I decided to like learn how to make a website, like I told you, and then I decided I have to get a comic book made, and they did. It's based on a part of a story I read, or I wrote, Fearsome Flyer, and so all my stories are based on traumatic experiences. When I first wrote my stories, the first 2 features, I had a hospital scare right when I got into college because I was rushing through my food, and I can't rush or else it goes down the wrong way. And so I had to go to the hospital, and like the drugs they put you on make you kind of delirious or whatever. And you imagine things that didn't happen. So so the next thing is to get back to my, wait a minute, Okay. So now I want to tell you about the girls in my life that kind of have, molded what I do. And there's this first one that I kind of liked, but I would never really talk to her because of my voice and stuff, named Nicole. And I don't know, I knew her through middle school and high school, and then I decided, well, I talked to her when I graduate, I'm probably gonna never see her again. So that was a choice of mine. And then I met this girl named Andy or Andrea, that I had seen all my life, but I never really wanted to talk to her when I was little. So I finally did, and Nicole and Andy are like completely opposite of each other. So I don't know, I was just wanted to meet them, And then I went through some time where, I didn't need anyone in my life. I didn't want anyone to slow me down. So after I got the comic drawn, I met this girl in New York. I never physically met her, but she also had a disability. Her name was Lauren, and the most amazing girl. Just talking to her daily, it was like probably the best relationship I've had in my life. And one time I even remember her saying this had been right when Firework came out by Katy Perry, and she said, I really believe that she wrote that song for you. It's like the most amazing thing people have said to me, or someone's ever said to me, and it's really cool. And then she actually wanted to come out here and perform, because she's a dancer, and perform the song E.T. by Katy Perry for me. And she wanted to just, do a dance number with her partner, and then just at the end she's like, I'm all yours. I just wanted to kiss her, but I never got the chance. Unfortunately, she passed away, and because of her disability. But I did tell her, we're always together, as long as you're in my heart and I'm in your heart, we're always there. And it's true, I still keep in touch with her family. I kinda met her family through her last hospital thing where it all was happening. Yeah, it was very sad. But, I gotta brush off the cobwebs and keep going. That's what she would want. And, so luckily I met, this person named Natalie, through another, former friend of mine. And, at first it was nothing, we were just friends, and, so then I learned that she was an actress, and we realized we could help each other out, because I'm like write scripts. She does acting pretty similar, and she was cool. And like we didn't talk much then, but then like why I'm no longer this other girlfriend is because of all the stuff Natalie was telling me what was happening behind the scenes, which was like unfair to her as a friend of this other girl. And so she was like telling me stuff, and I didn't do anything. But when I found out that this guy who was this other girl's roommate was the treasurer of this like nonprofit that the girl was starting, I told Natalie immediately because I knew that this guy was like a sleazeball, and Natalie is so nice that she was like getting money sources and publicity and everything for this girl, and the girl like totally betrayed her. So I told her, after a while I'll leave too, and I did. And so now to get back to the characters I've written in my writing closely around my life as Fearsome Flyer. So Fearsome Flyer, this guy named Marshall Goyer, like he like is totally amazed by this science experiment, which I was amazed by. Okay, like a nail attached to a battery gives like an electric charge to pick up a paper clip, and I'm like, wow, what if you like multiplied that and made it a sword? And then you could like point it to a building and be drawn over there and kind of like fly. So for a long time I had this idea, but I didn't have a name for the character until I was thinking of Knight Rider and why they called him Knight Rider, which is the guy that rides at night. And so I thought my guy was the guy that flies, and he's fierce. So Fearsome Flyer just came automatically, and it fit really good. So then at first I created this other guy called Dr. Psycho. And Dr. Psycho is kind of is a mode of all the doctors in my life that have been negative or I just don't like, so he's a bad doctor, Dr. Psycho. Then there's this guy named the Jackal, and he kind of turned into, there was this show called Who Wants to Be a Superhero? And as lame as it was pretty cool, huh? And Stan Lee did it, and it'd always pop up on like billboards and stuff. So I got the idea of this character who's kind of like in the shadows, and he's a drug dealer, but Stan Lee isn't a drug dealer, but oh well. Then there's this girl named Electric Blaze, who I didn't really have a picture of her until I met this acquaintance of a really hot to handle girl. And I knew like it would never work with her, but she made a character for me. And then there's this other character called Hoodlum. It was kind of created by two people. There's this aspiring actress that I met, and that's her good side. That's when she called Jennifer. And then her bad side, it was kind of evolved by Nicole, the one I told you about before. I never really talked to her. And then there's Praying Mantis, who I thought it was, because it's just seen like making the band thing where it was a band called Mantis and the lead singer was a guy, so I thought my character was gonna be a guy. But I met this girl that was also an aspiring actress, and she kinda like changed it totally into a girl, and it worked though. And then my character, Marshall Goyer, has a friend named Robert Nolan, and he turns into this other like superhero type thing named Magnesium. And that's all a story in itself. The MGNZN is like a military project that started by this company called Psycor. And Psycor is my image of this place I worked at called Spaywar, where it's like a government federal building that they make like planes and robotics and all that stuff, and I'm glad I actually got to work there. I kind of started the story before I even worked there, but it was cool. And so finally there's another character called Cyclone. Is this girl called Cynthia Clark, and Cynthia and Robert are roommates in the hospital, which was pretty cool, because when I wrote my third script, I finally got to be like a mentor and mentor people to get through rehab, and it was a really neat experience. Cyclone was kind of made by it was molded and it was thought up by the girl I told you was a farmer friend, and that's how I met Natalie. And after writing the first two, I couldn't really do a third one at that time, because I was in college and I had to focus on getting my degree and getting out of there and stuff. And in one class before graduating, I had to, one of the things was writing a feature script, or the beginning, but I couldn't just do the beginning. So I did the complete thing. Like, I finished it up through summer, and that script I put, when I graduated, I learned things that I would never taught in school about selling scripts, like what a log line is, which is like a one-line summary of your whole script. And then the other thing I learned was a synopsis, which is a 450-word summary of what your script's about. So I did this for all my scripts, all my features, and everything. Then I put it on that website that connects like entertainment companies to script writers, and so I did that, and I bid for it to be up for 6 months, and after 6 months, this guy Jeff, he actually downloaded it. And he hasn't, like, picked it up or anything as of what I know. But I really hope he does. And, it's Jeff Balkan, some guy in New York City, from something like Four Front Films or something. I don't know. But, so the trauma that I went through with Lauren when she was in the hospital dying, kinda evolved into the third script, which completed my feature film trilogy. And, it was tough, but I read it, and yeah, I really like it. I dedicated that script to her, and so the way I wrote my stuff, it's gonna have another trilogy after. Just right now I don't have time. My story is far from over. It just introduces all the characters and what they do and stuff. So, like, be on the lookout. And I always set big goals for myself. That's how I got through the hospital. Because I remember this occupational therapist named Monica, I overheard her say, "He's never gonna walk again." So, I took that in my athletic background, and I went, well, I'll show you, No one is gonna tell me that I'm never gonna walk again. So, I still do know I can't walk, but I can use a walker. I go to therapy probably more times than anyone goes to the gym, or most people. It's kind of different right now because I've got a job and stuff, but I'd still try and get there. And yeah, this is probably way over the line, but my personal goal is to be the next Stan Lee. And I want to create my own comic company. And if you look at my website, it's hopefully gonna be geared around like disabilities and educating people with my scripts and with my comics. Like the other side, you know, like my characters, Robert turns like into a paraplegic. Cynthia's like all her four limbs have been like amputated, and so they're like basically three freaks in wheelchairs that are superheroes, which is way more than what any walking person can do. So, you know, like I am like, this is basically spitting in the face of all the doctors who have been negative to me. And I just finished copying 5 audiobooks of all 3 scripts, and I'm holding on to it, but I now have something I can table at events, which what's kind of cool is there's a comic book studio that's opening up near where I live. They already have my logo, which you can find on my website. They already have that, and 2 of my scripts that are shorter. But, you know, time will tell what happens. I always have big goals. And, I hope you get to read my stuff soon.